to everyone. I, on behalf of all 8th class teachers, give you a warm welcome. Today, we are going to drench ourselves into the first new education policy to be introduced in India in the 21st century, the last having been implemented in 1986, 34 years ago. This is to inform you that NEP will transform the way that we educate our children. It will focus on all-round personality development and prepare students to be better citizens of the country. Now let me introduce few of the parameters of the same. The vision of the policy, an education system rooted in Indian ethos that contributes directly to transforming India, that is Bharat, sustainably into an equitable and vibrant knowledge society. By providing high quality education to all and thereby making India a global knowledge superpower. The curriculum and pedagogy of our institutions must develop a deep sense of respect towards the fundamental duties and constitutional values, bonding with one's country, and a conscious awareness of one's roles, responsibilities in a changing world. To instill a deep-rooted pride in being Indian, not only in thought, but also in spirit, intellect, and deeds as well, as to develop knowledge, skills, values, and dispositions that support responsible commitment to human rights, sustainable development, and living and global well-being, thereby reflecting a truly global citizen. The main aim of NEP is to educate, encourage, and enlighten all the children of the country, transforming curricular and pedagogical structure. As India's new education policy 2020 was approved on July 29, it is set to replace the 10+2 schooling system in India with the new 5+3+3+4 system. But this doesn't mean that the 10+2 system will become obsolete. The new schooling system only brings 3 years of kindergarten classes or play schools under the ambit of formal education. Since the NEP 2020 also increasing the span of the Right to Education Act and will now cover ages 3 to 18, it looks at organizing the total school education period so that in the early childhood care education or preschool level, there is more access, affordability, accountability, and universalization, and all with better quality education. 5 years of foundational stage for ages 3 to 8 for classes Anganwadi, preschool, class 1, class 2. The foundational stage of education, as per the National Education Policy, will comprise 3 years or preschool or Anganwadi education, followed by 2 years of primary classes, classes 1 and 2. This stage will focus on teaching in play-based or activity-based methods and on the development of language skills. 3 years of preparatory stage for ages 8 to 11, for classes 3 to 5. The focus in the preparatory stage will remain on language development and numeracy skills. Here, the method of teaching and learning would be play and activity-based and also include classroom interactions and the element of discovery. 3 years of middle stage for ages 11 to 14, for classes 6 to 8. As per NEP 2020, this stage of school education will focus on critical learning objectives, which is a big shift from the rote learning methods used in our education system for years. This stage will work on experiential learning in the sciences, mathematics, arts, social sciences, and humanities. For ages 14 to 18, for classes 9 to 12, This stage will cover two phases, classes 9 and 10 and classes 11 and 12. The main change in these classes is the shift to a multidisciplinary system where students will have access to a variety of subject combinations that they can choose as per their skills and interest areas instead of being strictly divided into arts, science, and commerce categories. This stage will again push for greater critical thinking and flexibility in the thought process. The key features of NEP. The NEP has 8 key principles. They are respect for diversity for the local context in all curriculum, pedagogy, and policy. Always keeping in mind that education is a concurrent subject. Full equity and inclusion as a cornerstone of all educational decisions to ensure that all students are able to thrive in the education system. Emphasis on conceptual understanding rather than rote learning and learning for exams. Extensive use of technology in teaching and learning, removing language barriers, increasing access for Divyang students, and educational planning and management. Recognizing, identifying, and fostering the unique capabilities of each student by sensitizing teachers as well as parents to promote each student's holistic development in both academic and non-academic spheres. Substantial investment in a strong, vibrant public education system, as well as the encouragement and facilitation of true philanthropic, private, and community participation. Continuous review of progress based on sustained research and regular assessment by educational experts. Creativity and critical thinking to encourage logical decision making and innovation. Salient features of stages in school. The most integral layer is a foundational stage in which a child will have play-based learning, pedagogy of early childhood care, and education. Focus will be on good behavior, ethics, personal and public hygiene. Next comes the preparatory stage, in which there will be a gradual transition from play-based learning to more formal classroom learning. Different subjects will be introduced, including physical education, art and language. There would be more emphasis on reading, writing, and speaking skills. Next in line is the middle stage, subject-oriented pedagogical and curricular methodology is very, very important. It is an attitude which needs to be changed. Last but not the least is the high school or secondary stage. In this stage, there would be a variety of subjects for students to deal with. 4 years of multidisciplinary study, greater flexibility and choice of subjects. There won't be any walls for the child as long as subject choice is concerned. More frequent assessment of modules will be done so that assessment is done in a better way. Now over to Jyotsna ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's see the another areas of NEP, multilingualism and the part of language learning. It considers basic 4 points, medium of instructions up till grade 5 and preferably till grade 8 and beyond will be home language, mother tongue, local language. The language of India, a fun project, activity on to be taken by every student. 3 languages to be taught will be decided by state or UT. Apart from this, all classical languages will be widely available in school as options. For this, there will be a major effort from the central and the state government to invest in large number of language teachers in all regional languages around the country. It will be an icebreaker for children when they meet people from the other part of India. Students whose medium of instruction is home language will begin to learn science, mathematics, and other subjects bilingually in grade 6 so that by the end of grade 9, they can speak about science and other subjects both in their home language and English. As ma'am told, the 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 stages. The first stage is early childhood education, that is learning in the formative years. Here the child will learn to develop curiosity, logical thinking and problem solving, arts and craft, music, relationship with nature, colors, shape, alphabets and numbers, teamwork and collaboration, play-based and discovery-based learning, ethics, self-identity, etiquettes, behavior, and emotional developments. If we compare these two figures, we can see the first one and the second one. Red and yellow, the colors stand for most active. Purple and black stand for least active. See the first figure. It is full of colors. It shows with quality early childhood education. And the second one shows without quality early childhood education. We can see the temporal lobes. Most of the areas in the second figure are black. Let's talk about the other stage, grade 6 to 8. Apart from the curriculum, in this middle stage, apart from the curriculum, vocational courses such as craft, carpentry, electric work, mental work, gardening, poetry making, etc. will be introduced. That is to be decided by state and local communities and to be mapped by the local skilling needs. Emphasis on vocational education. For this, 10 days backless period during 6 to 8 for students to intern with local vocational experts such as carpenters, gardeners, potters, artists, etc. Internship opportunity to learn vocational subject throughout grades 6 to 12, and these courses will be through the online mode also. Now NEP, this policy 2020 envisaged for some transformational reforms in the Indian education system. It talks about the education system that lays emphasis on experiential learning along with a focus on 21st century skills like critical thinking, problem solving, etc. The policy expects that by the year 2025, at least 50% of learners through the school and higher education system shall have exposure to vocational education. NEP has come up with 10 important points to carefully consider with respect to vocational education and skills. These are vision for balanced education, reimagination of vocational education and sensitization for building competencies, inclusive, interoperable, interdisciplinary, and outcome-based education. 21st century capacity building, school internship for skill appreciation and craft-centric learning, professional development of teachers, integration of vocational education with academic learning, job market orientation with multiple entry and exit options, recognition of prior learning and with international standards, technological development and student entrepreneurship. Now over to Himani ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Jyotsna, for the information. Let's continue with more slides and information related to NEP. This slide is about encouraging 21st century skills in the classroom. NEP will ensure the holistic development of learners. We have to advance our students with 21st century skills. These 21st century skills are critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, etc. We need these skills as learning is complete and holistic only when a student is able to effectively perform and fulfill his/her responsibilities and duties towards self, school, family, society, and above all, the nation. The goal is to enable today's student to be a good citizen and a responsible human being who is well aware of his potential. Now, let's try to understand a little more about these skills. Critical thinking is the capability of objective analysis of information and includes the qualities like fairness, activeness, and being independent. Collaboration is the ability to effectively work together with others. Collaboration helps to develop interest and fun in the teaching learning process. Communication refers to the ability to express one's opinions, desires, and needs. Creativity refers to new way of seeing or doing things and includes components like fluency, flexibility, and elaboration. These are the skills to explore and create fresh ways of thinking. Problem solving is the skill of identifying the relevant piece of information, also discarding information that may not be useful to give any new information, and finally, relating one set of information to another in a different form by using experience. Digital literacy refers to an individual's ability to find, evaluate, and compose clear information through writing and other media on various digital platforms. Digital literacy will standardize the content and will promote adoption of continuously evolving technologies for digital learning nationwide. Ethics is a system of moral principles. It is concerned with what is good for individuals and society, and is also described as moral philosophy. NEP recognizes that the purpose of the education system is to develop good human beings capable of evidence-based thinking along with scientific temper and ethical values. Next slide is about health education. Education is not about loading a child with information. It is just to develop the body and the mind to the highest possible capability. The new education policy has taken many steps in this positive direction. The NEP includes health and nutrition, physical education, fitness, wellness, sports, sanitation and hygiene as some of the key skills. Accordingly, from this slide, it is clearly visible that the NEP has proposed the inclusion of training in health, including preventive health, mental health, good nutrition, personal and public hygiene, disaster response, and first aid. Next slide is about technology in education. We need to give children, adolescents, and youth the opportunity to learn and understand AI-based concepts and technologies and be connected with the careers of tomorrow. They will need to be digitally confident and global in their outlook to be great problem solvers, collaborators, and communicators. They must be resilient enough to view hurdles or problems. AI provides a context to begin developing those skills. NEP strongly supports open source applications that drive learning to use artificial intelligence, smart analytics, and well-structured content related to learning. To summarize, the new National Education Policy is an area of new hopes and new horizons for students for their future benefits. Let's see few important points for the same in this slide. Technology in education, use of technology in teaching, learning, and assessment, education planning, Digital India campaign, administration and management, regulation through public disclosures. NETF includes following points: NOOCs, Divyang-friendly educational software, e-content in various languages, virtual labs to meet 21st century challenges, online assessment and examination. Now, I request Ms. Anju Bhatia to continue further with some more information regarding NEP.
थैंक्स हिमानी, वाह, आज तुमने तो कमाल ही कर दिया। इस नई शिक्षा नीति के बारे में कितने आसान और सरल तरीके से जानकारी दे दी। अब मैं भी तुम्हारी ही बात को आगे बढ़ाते हुए उच्च शिक्षा से संबंधित कुछ और जानकारी देना चाहूंगी। परिवर्तन ही संसार का नियम है। समय समय पर किया परिवर्तन हमारे जीवन को सरल, आसान, लचीला और खुशनुमा बना देता है, जीवन में नया जोश भर देता है। इसी परिवर्तन का एक सशक्त माध्यम है शिक्षा, और मैं उच्च शिक्षा में हुए इस नए परिवर्तन के बारे में कुछ बताना चाहूंगी। नई शिक्षा नीति का सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बिंदु है मल्टीपल और एग्जिट सिस्टम लागू होना। अभी यदि कोई छात्र 3 साल इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ने या 6 सेमेस्टर पढ़ने के बाद किसी कारणवश आगे की पढ़ाई नहीं कर पाता है, तो उसको कुछ भी हासिल नहीं होता है और वह खाली हाथ रह जाता है। लेकिन मल्टीपल और एग्जिट सिस्टम में छात्र को 1 साल के बाद पढ़ाई छोड़ने पर सर्टिफिकेट, 2 साल के बाद पढ़ाई छोड़ने पर डिप्लोमा तथा 3 या 4 साल की पढ़ाई पूरी करने पर डिग्री मिल जाएगी। इससे देश में ड्रॉप आउट रेशो भी कम होगा। दूसरा फायदा यह भी होगा, अगर कोई छात्र किसी कोर्स को बीच में छोड़कर दूसरे कोर्स में एडमिशन लेना चाहे, तो वह पहले कोर्स से निश्चित समय तक के लिए ब्रेक भी ले सकता है और दूसरा कोर्स भी ज्वाइन कर सकता है। दूसरा कोर्स पूरा करने के बाद फिर से पहले वाले कोर्स को जारी रख सकता है। नई शिक्षा नीति में 3 साल की डिग्री उन छात्रों के लिए है जिन्हें उच्च शिक्षा प्राप्त नहीं करनी है। उच्च शिक्षा प्राप्त करने के लिए छात्रों को 4 साल में डिग्री लेनी होगी। ऐसे छात्र 1 साल में ही एमए कर सकेंगे। इस शिक्षा नीति से एक लाभ और भी है कि एमए करने के पश्चात छात्र अब सीधे पीएचडी भी कर सकेंगे और उन्हें पीएचडी करने के लिए एमफिल करने की आवश्यकता ही नहीं होगी। उच्च शिक्षा प्राप्त करने के लिए अभी सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटीज, डीम्ड यूनिवर्सिटी और स्टैंड अलोन इंस्टीट्यूशन के लिए अलग अलग नियम हैं, लेकिन नई शिक्षा नीति में इन सभी के लिए एक समान ही नियम होंगे। देश में शोध और अनुसंधान को बढ़ावा देने के लिए अमेरिका के नेशनल साइंस फाउंडेशन की तर्ज पर नेशनल रिसर्च फाउंडेशन की स्थापना की जाएगी। इसका मुख्य उद्देश्य विश्वविद्यालयों के माध्यम से रिसर्च को बढ़ावा देना होगा। नई शिक्षा नीति से छात्रों को एक लाभ और भी मिलेगा कि क्षेत्रीय भाषाओं में भी ई कोर्स शुरू किए जाएंगे, वर्चुअल लैब विकसित की जाएंगी और छात्र घर बैठे ही समय व धन की बचत कर सकेंगे, परेशानियों से बच सकेंगे। अभी जो शिक्षा प्रणाली चल रही है उसमें ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। आओ अब हम इसका तुलनात्मक अध्ययन भी करते हैं। पहली तुलना, अभी जो शिक्षा पद्धति चल रही है वह 10+2+3 है। इसमें छात्र साइंस, कॉमर्स और आर्ट्स में किसी एक ही क्षेत्र का चुनाव कर सकते हैं, लेकिन नई शिक्षा नीति में छात्र कोई भी स्ट्रीम अपनी रुचि के अनुसार चुन सकते हैं। दूसरी बात, वर्तमान में अभी छात्र 10+2+3 के अनुसार शिक्षा ले रहे हैं, पर नई शिक्षा नीति में 5+3+3+4 के अनुसार शिक्षा ग्रहण करेंगे। तीसरी मुख्य बात यह भी है, अभी छात्रों का मूल्यांकन वर्ष में सिर्फ एक बार ही होता है। छात्र रट्टा लगाकर परीक्षा दे देते हैं, लेकिन नई शिक्षा नीति में छात्र वर्ष में 2 बार परीक्षा दे सकेंगे। चौथी मुख्य बात यह है, उच्च शिक्षा में 3 या 4 वर्ष बाद छात्रों को डिग्री मिलती थी, लेकिन नई शिक्षा पद्धति में 1 वर्ष के बाद सर्टिफिकेट और 2 वर्ष की पढ़ाई के बाद डिप्लोमा का प्रावधान है। इससे छात्रों की पढ़ाई व्यर्थ नहीं जाएगी। पांचवी मुख्य बात यह है, वर्तमान शिक्षा प्रणाली में व्यावसायिक शिक्षा का कोई स्थान नहीं है, लेकिन नई शिक्षा नीति में 6ठी कक्षा से ही रोजगार की शिक्षा दी जाएगी तथा 10 दिन इंटर्नशिप के भी होंगे। 6ठी मुख्य बात यह है, वर्तमान शिक्षा में छात्रों का मूल्यांकन अंकों के आधार पर होता है, लेकिन नई शिक्षा नीति में छात्रों का मूल्यांकन 360 डिग्री पर होगा। अंतिम मुख्य बात यह है, वर्तमान शिक्षा में छात्रों की विभिन्न प्रकार की प्रवेश परीक्षाएं होती हैं, लेकिन नई शिक्षा नीति में छात्रों को सिर्फ एक ही परीक्षा देनी होगी। अब इस तुलनात्मक अध्ययन से हम आसानी से समझ सकते हैं कि वर्तमान शिक्षा प्रणाली में कितनी खामियां थीं, जिनको नई शिक्षा प्रणाली में दूर करने का प्रयास किया गया है। हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि नई शिक्षा नीति से देश में रोजगार परक शिक्षा को बढ़ावा मिलेगा और रट कर पढ़ने की संस्कृति से छुटकारा मिलेगा।
Thank you for being patient listeners and devoting your precious time. Hope we were capable enough to enlighten you regarding NEP 2020. Thank you once again for turning in.